Chronics from the most extreme wrestling, and this is your AEW Double or Nothing 2021 review. This took place live at the Daily's Place, Jacksonville, Florida. Tony Schiavone, JR, and Excalibur all on commentary. The fans are back. We saw them back on the special Friday night edition of Dynamite. They are back again for this pay-per-view. They saw Dynamite on Friday. On Saturday, they had a fan event. And, well, here we are at the pay-per-view. I had to catch it late, and I'm reviewing it even later. So, for this opening contest, to kick off this pay-per-view, finally back after all this time, finally a pay-per-view back full of fans, all up in this arena. We're going to start off with the Machine, Brian Cage. He is the FTW champion, taking on Adam Page. Now, I know Brian Cage complained in the past about not being able to defend his championship, which he did before he complained about it, but it's not happening here. However, he still has the championship, he still holds it, and he still wears it. Presumably just because it looks good on him. They've been teasing that Brian Cage is going to turn face. He's going to leave. He's no longer going to be a part of Team Taz. That has been the tease. Well, that tease continues because tonight he wants to do it alone. He wants to go in this thing just one-on-one and not have anybody there ringside. Well, although Taz is on commentary, a good way to start off this night. You want to have a lot of action to kick it off, to really set the mood, set the tone, and that's what they did. And Adam Page kickstarts this one off right. A good match. Here we see Cage go for the buckshot lariat, trying to steal a finisher. My goodness. But Adam, no. He fumbles his way into hitting Brian's own finisher, hitting it on Brian. Get a near fall, and then Hook and Starks come down to the ring, and they help Brian. But, Brian, he doesn't want help. He's not looking for help. Starks tosses the title to Brian, and Brian Cage tosses it back. He's like, no, I do not want this. A little bit of a distraction from Hook allows Adam Page to hit the buckshot lariat for the win. Now, Hook, he was trying to help Brian Cage, but look, Brian Cage trying to do this thing on his own, trying to prove himself, and I like that. Brian Cage is a big dude, and really making a point to win on his own also builds up the credibility of Adam Page as a formidable opponent. So that was cool. Adam Page, of course, celebrates with a beer, and Team Taz, they're not happy. They're arguing. They're not all about it. But for now, Brian Cage is still a part of Team Taz, but it looks like that may be coming to an end. And what is that going to mean for that FTW championship? I don't know. Maybe it'll go back up on somebody's display. Who knows? But we have a tag team championship match right now. The second match of the night. It is the Young Bucks, who are the tag team champions, with Don Callis. Of course, Callis goes to commentary, and they are putting their championships on the line against a tag team that, kind of thrown together. Not an official tag team, but an effective tag team, obviously, of Moxley and Kingston. Kingston has the Young Bucks Nike shoes still with them, those expensive shoes. Luckily, the Young Bucks have bought new socks and shoes that they can wear, so that's good for them. Kingston and Moxley have the Wild Thing entrance, which is great. I like that song, so I'm going to pop for every time for it. Awesome. I can't imagine they're going to be, having that song as long as Jericho has had it in his group with the Inner Circle. So hopefully I won't get as tired of it as I have of Jericho's theme. But yeah, going down the ring, going through the crowd, having a good time. That's what they were all about. That's what they were doing. But yeah, Kingston and Moxley, they attack the Bucks when the Bucks are in the ring doing their pose, and the confetti's going everywhere just to kickstart this thing off immediately. And the fight spills out into the arena. And the Bucks within this match doing various 80s wrestlers poses. What were they doing? They were doing like they did the Macho Man thing. I think they did the Hogan thing. What did they do? Like the Junkyard Dog? They did several iconic 80s WWE taunts and poses, and that's one of the things that they do. And I guess that makes people mad at them. It's just confusing to me. It's just like, this is what people in the crowd do, for fun, but they're doing it to be disrespectful and to get people mad. But I don't think that really gets anybody mad, honestly. I could be wrong. But what I'm not wrong about is the Good Brothers, they try to assist. Of course they do, because they might have good in their name, but they are not so. No, they try to assist. Frankie Kazarian attacks Carl Anderson. He's on the fight back. Matt uses the cold spray on Moxley for the 2. They do the Indie Taker on the stage. Holy crap, you think that this would end someone. The Bucks stay on Moxley. They keep kicking him. Even though at this point, Moxley, he's losing blood, my man. And Matt, he tries to build up this Superman punch. So not only are we doing 80s and 90s wrestling, we're bringing it into modern day. I guess anybody who's been popular or is popular, they're gonna rip off. So instant comedy gold, I assume. Kingston, he gets the hot tag. That was nice. 4 BTE triggers on Moxley. It was kind of weird the way they were doing them. They just held on to Moxley and they just kept doing it. But I don't know if that really registered for the fans, because I saw fans in the stands looking like, but did that hurt him or something? Like, they looked a little confused because, when you're stuck in one place and people are hitting you from both sides, there's not a lot of room to go. There's nowhere to really move. You can't really fall down. So he's just kind of here and just bam, 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 getting hit. So, yeah, I don't think it looked as good in practice as it might have on paper. But it was enough to end the match. So I kind of thought that the Young Bucks were going to go on first, but I guess you can go on second. Now we have the Casino Battle Royal. Whoever wins this match is going to get a future championship match for the AEW Championship. When? We have no idea. I thought it might be a while, several episodes or whatever before we find out, but we actually find out later into the night, so we'll start off with it here. Paul Wright, he is on commentary. So we're getting a legend on commentary for every match. So, I know you already bought the pay-per-view, but make sure you are paying attention. So Christian Cage, he draws the clubs. You see, the suit, they draw the cards in the back, and whatever suit, all the people who drew the suit come out, and then they pick another suit, and then those people come out. It seems a little convoluted compared to what WWE would do. Like, WWE would never do anything that involves any complexity in their rules, for better or for worse. So, you actually have to read a couple paragraphs on the screen when it comes to some of the AEW matches. And, so regardless, Christian, he's first, Matt Sydal second, Powerhouse Hobbs third, Dustin Rhodes, Max Caster. The match starts, and we got Caster eliminating Sydal, Christian eliminating Max Caster. Let's do the diamond suit. Why not? It's Matt Hardy, Isaiah Cassidy. They're waiting to attack the next entrance, but surprise failed when number 10 comes out. Nick Comoroto, Serpentagon. Yeah, he gets dumped into the ring by Luther. I don't know why. They're buddies, presumably, but he got dumped. 10 eliminates Serpentigo. Dustin Rhodes eliminates 10 and Nick Comoroto. So Dustin Rhodes over here on a Ball of Fire. His age keeps going up, but the man looks amazing. He looks great. So you got a lot of legends already in this match with Dustin Rhodes, with Christian, Matt Hardy. So, a lot of credibility. Whoever's going to win this thing, they got to go through some legitimate, legendary talent. So that only puts them over even more. Correct? Yes. Powerhouse Hobbs eliminates Dustin Rhodes. Now it's time for the Hearts, but not like in a good way, or not in like the wrestling Hart family, not whatsoever. The Varsity Blondes enter, so cool having them in the match. Colt Cabana, Anthony Bowens, Penta El Zero. He's wearing a Joker attire, right? But he's not the Joker card. One of the rules of this thing is like at the end, whoever drew the Joker comes in last. But I mean, he was wearing the Joker, but he didn't get the Joker. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, he comes in. He had a cool ass outfit. Hopefully they make an action figure of that at some point. I'd buy it. Isaiah Cassidy eliminates Colt Cabana. Varsity Blondes eliminate Bowens. Now it's time for the Spades. See, this is pretty good. You know, all the people that didn't get on the show, well, they got on the show here. Because, see, it's not an episode of Dynamite. What we do on an episode of Dynamite is we'd have half of these guys just do run-ins because they're there. Why not? But since it's a pay-per-view, they're not going to do that. So, you know, I like this. This is a good match. Now, Jungle Boy favored in this match. Mark Quinn, Aaron Solo. Private Party eliminates Brian Pillman Jr. Evil Uno. Big Shotty Lee. Shotty Lee eliminates Aaron Solo. Matt Hardy eliminates Shotty Lee. Commentators always go crazy for Shotty Lee. Is he really that good? I mean, he seems pretty good, but they just really love that man. But they haven't really done a lot with him, is all I'm saying. Look, Penta eliminates Uno. Jungle Boy eliminates Penta. Christian eliminates Hobbs. A Joker card. It's Lio Rush. I did not expect. I don't think that Lio Rush has signed with AEW. I think I saw an article that he actually signed with Japan, perhaps. But Lio Rush has been a hot commodity on the independent scene. And, yeah, he's showing up. The people responded. They knew who he was. Of course they did. And, yeah, Lio, he comes out, hot fire, springboard stunner. He misses it the first time and then kind of like barely does it the second time. So I don't know. I don't know if that's like being in a new ring, if it was sweaty. You know, there's a lot of people there grabbing ropes and sweating all over the place. So who knows? Matt Hardy eliminates Lio Rush. Jungle Boy and Christian eliminate Private Party. It's down to Christian, Hardy, and Jungle Boy. And I know there were people at home watching this who were sweating bullets like, okay, Edge won the Royal Rumble. Christian's in a battle royal for a future championship match, much like the Royal Rumble. You know, if Christian wins this, even as a Christian fan, I don't know if I'm going to like that or not. So, I was pretty confident. I knew who was going to win, but let's get to it. Christian eliminates Matt Hardy. There's no way Matt Hardy was going to win. I know he made that speech after his concussion that he was going to come for the title, but I hate to inform everyone that's probably never ever going to happen here in AEW. So it's down to Jungle Boy and Christian, and Jungle Boy does in fact eliminate Christian. This is great because, like I said, Edge did win the Royal Rumble. Now his tag team partner in the same year in a big battle royal, Jungle Boy is the one who eliminates them. So just by proxy, just elevating the stock of Jungle Boy. This is making Jungle Boy look like he belongs. Now the man has won and he has a championship match. Now, what does this do for Christian? Does this hurt his credibility in any shape, form, or fashion? Well, no, because of what he does next. He, after this explosion from the crowd, people loved it. People loved the fact that Jungle Boy won this match. Marco Stunt and Luchasaurus come down to congratulate as they should. And Christian still in the ring. You know, he's pointing at Jungle Boy, seemingly saying like, "You won. Now you go win the championship. You know, you go win that championship for us." And gives him a big hug. The way he did that, just perfect. You know, just letting him know, like, man, you did it, you earned it. And that just makes Christian look like such a good guy, a well-intentioned guy, and, you know, not a sore loser at all. And really pointing out that he recognizes, as a legend himself, as a former champion, that Jungle Boy earned it, and he deserved it. and him like pointing and hugging him, just instilling the idea that he earned it and he deserves that opportunity, and giving him that extra bit of motivation to go and win that championship as a young wrestler here in AEW. So it didn't make Christian look bad at all. Made Jungle Boy look like $1 million. I think that the way they ended this thing was perfect. Now, when are they going to do the match? They actually announced later, but I'll go ahead and just group it in here. In 2 weeks. So he's going to face for the championship in 2 weeks on Dynamite. Surely they're only doing this because it's going to draw more ratings, 2 weeks after a pay-per-view. Maybe there's a dip. Well, maybe not, because this is our big match. Understandable, just because, well, that's what they've done in the past. But I would hope or wish that they would save that for a pay-per-view. But, maybe they got some ideas. Maybe they screw them. Maybe the Good Brothers get involved. Maybe end up with a Jurassic Express versus the champion. Who knows? I'm just going to trust that they have something good in place and not just beat Jungle Boy and then not do anything with him for months, because that would be horrible, and we need better than this. Now, Justin Roberts, he reminds us it's Memorial Day. USA fans are all about that because it's time for America to shine. It's Memorial Day, and we got Cody, the American Dream, Cody Rhodes, coming out looking like a WCW USA Sting, or like Captain America. I don't know what he was supposed to be looking like, but he was patriotic for sure. He's taking on Anthony Ogogo, who's representing the UK. So we've brought up some 200-year-old buried animosity, I guess, from the UK to the US. Like, that's something that doesn't exist. But for some reason, they decided to kind of hinge that idea in this match. I don't know why, but they did. Yeah, QT, he tries to get involved, but Arn Anderson enforces and doesn't let that happen. This was I'm not going to say it was a good match. Anthony Ogogo is green. Cody is good. Not the greatest wrestler of all time for sure. I don't know. Did this do Anthony Ogogo a lot of favors? I don't know. I mean, he won, right? Not the most exciting match, but he did it for America. So I guess perhaps that is important. Yeah, he did it for America. Anyways, after this thing, everyone's excited. America's won. And I'm not going to say that this buried Anthony Ogogo. Like that, I think that's crazy to say that. It's just that Anthony Ogogo is so fresh. I'm not sure that this helped him at all. Like, I don't think it hurt him for sure, but I don't think it helped as much as they expected, honestly. This is a pay-per-view match. Because, think about this. This is a pay-per-view match. But in 2 weeks, Jungle Boy, after this huge victory, beating Christian, and all these other superstars, surviving and outlasting and getting the recognition from Christian, that championship match for the title, the AEW championship, is just on Dynamite. But this match with Anthony Ogogo, it's a pay-per-view match. I don't know, man. But I do know, TNT championship match right now. Miro, he is the TNT champion. He's got the ring gear to match. Lance Archer, I don't know, man. From Hearn, Texas, man, just dived through the ropes to the outside, almost landing on his head. Jake the Snake coming down with a snake in a bag. Miro gets it, he shakes it around and tosses it. Obviously, there was no snake in there. I saw people on the internet getting upset and angry about this, and I thought to myself, do people think that there was a real snake in there? And, obviously not, right? obviously. But people were like mad that they would even insinuate that there was a snake in there. And it's like, okay. Jake the Snake has had this gimmick for decades. And it's not the first time this has happened. Like, obviously, you know how the little trick is done, right? There's just not a snake in the bag. So it just blows my mind that anybody would get upset about it. Now, if it was a real snake, understandable. This is not encouraging the random person to be like, I'm going to do this. It's just silly. Like, you know what? People get mad over the stupidest stuff. So, whatever. But Miro, he gets the game over and Lance Archer passes out. He doesn't tap out. He just passes out. But I mean, really? Is that much better? I don't know. I mean, in some circumstances, honestly, I wouldn't have Lance Archer pass out or tap out. Just pin him. My goodness. Like, what? Just pin him. What is the point? Lance Archer seems like an insanely tough individual. A crazy individual. I just wouldn't have done that. But you know what? I didn't book the show. So September, AEW is going to be back in Chicago for All Out September 5th. That's pretty cool. I did look at some plane tickets, but I don't know, man. That's a trip. But Chicago is my favorite city I've ever been to. So maybe. It's AEW Women's Championship. It's Dr. Britt Baker DMD? How did she do it? I don't even know. With Rebel, not Reba. And Britt Baker is in some Scott Hall inspired ring gear with the little drippy blood things from like the WCW days, the late WCW days. Taking on Sheeta. Sheeta's in all white. She is the champion. New championship she has. Britt is coming in quick, trying to grapple. Sheeta is swinging those kicks. Rebel tries to get feisty, but gets ejected as Britt Baker brings in the belt while Sheeta, she's got her hands. Britt super kicks it into Sheeta's face. Curb stomp on the belt for 2. She only got 2 out of that. How? You even have more surface area with the belt for your face to go in, right? Sheeta gets these knees for the 2. Britt Baker gets that locked jaw, and Sheeta taps. We got a new champion, Britt Baker, which is awesome. She's excited. Britt Baker, like, I don't know if she was excited or what, but she didn't sell a whole lot in this match. But Rebel, she comes back down after this, and they're partying. They're excited. She's got a drink and a handkerchief. I'm not really sure what that was. Or a bandana, I don't know. And Tony Schiavone gives Britt a big hug. I thought Tony Schiavone was going to interview her. I thought he was going to walk up to her and be like, hey, how do you feel after this win? But they've created this friendship. Even though on camera it's been kind of like adversarial. But they just hug each other like they just love each other and they're buddies and they're friends and that's it. And she's very emotional and she's very happy and she's like, I won. Yay. And I'm like, oh, okay. But I know excited. Yes. But why did they do this in front of everyone? Like if they wanted to do that, they should have just went in the back and recorded it. And then, just show it later, months later, years later, whatever. But no, man. Screw it. Forget the fact that Britt Baker is a huge heel and she just beat the face who's been the champion for a year. She's been just insufferable, whatever, in storyline. She's just been this horrible person. She wins the championship. She's very excited. She's like, I won. I fulfilled a dream. Yeah. And she's hugging Tony Schiavone. So what? We're going to go to Dynamite? And she's just gonna be like, "Oh, I'm bad again. By the way, I'm a bad person. I'm a heel. Oh, I'm a heel now. Cool. Except on the pay-per-view, you just weren't. I just don't understand. How are you going to work the entire match being a heel, and then seconds later, you're like, it's just a character that I play. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. I wish they would not do that. Okay. But I was excited. I was excited Britt Baker was going to win. I called it. Knew it. I think it was obvious. It happened. Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. Ethan Page taking on Darby and Sting. Sting back in the ring, back in front of the fans. But first we get a Darby video where he skateboards. Sting picks him up. And what I think was a 59 convertible Cadillac convertible, which is awesome. Darby and Sting, they explode into the match. Scorpio Sky suplexes Sting on the ramp. I was not expecting that. And Sting no-sells it. I was like, what? And then I did not expect this either. Sting dives off of the poker chips, elevated and down to the floor. Like, I didn't expect that, but it was cool to see him being so active and taking these bumps. I'm glad he didn't shatter into glass. He took his shirt off. I popped for that. I mean, he had his little suspenders on or whatever. But it was cool to see him back in his form, back in the ring, doing his thing and going the woo and all this. So, I was excited. Ethan Page tosses Darby into the wrestler crowd on the side of the ring. I wondered why they had a row of wrestler fans, and that's why, so they could do this spot. If you watch Dynamite and you pay any kind of attention, you probably would have recognized that that's what was happening. And that's what they did. Sting gets the hot tag and gives it back to Darby. Darby and Ethan Page, they got each other in each other's submission. And Sting and Sky, they're facing each other as they're in a submission and they're slapping each other. So that was an interesting spot. Hot tag, Scorpion, Deathlock. Sting wins. Well, Darby wins. And JR almost dies. He's coughing on commentary. He's just like, ho, 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 and, didn't hit the cough button or whatever, but he seemed to be okay. As we go into the next match, it's an ODQ match. We get a main event package. It's Mauro Ranallo with sound clips. I don't know where they pulled those from, but it was cool to hear. It is the it's the championship match, not the main event. Orange Cassidy, Pac, and Kenny Omega with all the belts. All the championships. Kenny Omega has them all, but the only one that's on the line here tonight is the AEW Championship. Omega cheap shots Orange Cassidy right here at the beginning. So it's Pac and Omega as Orange Cassidy sits out for a while. Orange does this pump up thing where he's got his hands in his pocket. So that's like his big build up spot, I guess. It's like his Hulk up spot. I don't know, man. There's a lot of, there's a spot where he puts his hands in his pockets while he's on his knees and does a Ric Flair type drop. So my main complaint with this match is too much silliness from Orange Cassidy. I kind of expected that would be my problem with it. But, there was a spot where it's two guys in the ring and Orange Cassidy goes up and Hurricane Rana's both of them. How is that possible? Do they know physics? I don't think so. But yeah, Kenny, he hits the ref to break up a submission, instead of just like breaking up the submission. And Omega uses the belt on Pac. He uses another belt, the TNT Championship on Pac. He uses another belt, the AEW Championship on Pac. And Orange stops the gold attack. And this is the part. I got confused. I'm like, okay, I know it's a no disqualification match, right? Why did they do a spot like this? Why did they have the referee get knocked down just so Kenny Omega can use his championship belts as weapons? It's a no disqualification match. Why even have the referee knocked out? Like, I know he knocked him out on the submission, but it seemed weird to explicitly say it's a no disqualification match and use the weapons while the referees were away. Aubrey Edwards runs down as Orange Cassidy goes to pin Kenny Omega, but Kenny Omega hits a crucifix win for what I would consider a very anticlimactic win. I mean, sorry. It was okay. There was some really good spots to it. I enjoyed it for the most part, but just the way it ended with all this extreme violence and hitting with the championship belts and just obliterating to just reverse a pin into a crucifix. And that's it. So he stole it. Okay, I get it. It kind of makes sense. He stole the victory, but the way the crowd reacted, it seems like a lot of people felt the same way I did. It was just kind of anticlimactic. But this isn't the end of the pay-per-view, so I guess you can excuse it, right? Oh yeah, and Full Gear will be in St. Louis. Rampage will be in August. And they'll have a new coach and analyst for that show. And who is it? It's a surprise. It's Mark Henry, World's Strongest Man. So that's cool. We're going to have a bull rope match with Cody Rhodes and Nick Comoroto on Dynamite. And that's when we were told about the Jungle Boy versus Kenny Omega for the championship in 2 weeks. So be excited for that. Right now, it is the main event of this pay-per-view. It's Stadium Stampede. It's Inner Circle versus Pinnacle. We're doing this thing again here at Daly's Place. It could be the last time as we're about to go back on the road. So is the second one better than the first one? We're about to find out. Yeah, so Pinnacle shows up in a white limo, or at least we think so, because only MJF comes out of it. The Inner Circle rappelled down off the scoreboard, which was, they can say that they're the only people in AEW, I guess, or wrestling to rappel down something as part of their entrance, so rappelling down a wall. Yeah, I guess they rappelled down a mountaintop. I don't know what the relevance was, but they did it, so like it. Well, as MJF, the Inner Circle, they chase. You got FTR showing up in their Chevrolet pickup truck. The woodbed, it's back, baby. And they're chasing people. They got a massive brawl on the gridlock. MJF finally comes out of his car, which he was hiding in. Jericho was waiting for him behind the car. I don't know how he didn't know he was back there, but he missed it. They brawl. MJF and Jericho, they fight into an office area. They throw some coffee around. They fight around like a football coach that gives them an old laptop that they use to hit somebody with. So there you go. Proud and Powerful, they enter a club. Now, let me set this. Okay. We cut to a scene where it's colored like this, right? You got the colored lights in the background, whatever, It's a bar. You got some people hanging out, and you got these muscly dudes and no sleeves wearing ascots in a bar. I don't know, man. It kind of looked like a gay bar to me. I'm just saying. FTR wearing ascots in a bar. I'm just saying. That's what it looked like. That's what it looked like. There's nothing wrong with that, but I don't think that that's the look that they were going for. But I don't know. I've never worn an ascot, and I definitely never wore an ascot to a fight. And I've never went sleeveless to a bar with all my guy friends wearing an ascot. The only reason that I assume that it wasn't is because Conan was there. And, Conan is probably the last person I'd expect at a place like that. I don't know. I couldn't have been the only one. It's an odd look to try to pull off in that particular situation. So Spears and Sammy Guevara. So Spears is in a room. It's lit up colors. You got chairs everywhere. Oh, he's a chairman. And Sammy Guevara shows up, and I don't know if they were trying to do the Phantom Menace Darth or Dark. Oh crap! Oh my God, what is his name? Darth Maul. Yeah, where the doors open and it's like doo doo doo, and then they start fighting right with the chairs, but not lightsabers. So yeah, I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's what it looked like. I don't know what the reference was, but I'm gonna say that's what it was. And they fight for a second. Sammy, look, Spears, he gets these bolt cutters, and he's like, nah, I ain't gonna use that. I'm gonna use this chair. He tosses the bolt cutters down, and then he handcuffs Sammy Guevara to this what's it called? This table? No, shelf. This shelving thing. But then Sammy Guevara notices that the bolt cutters are there, and then he cuts his way out. So there you go. He does that. Proud and Powerful. Yeah. They Proud and Powerful and FTR, they meet up in that bar, and they do a toast with alcohol before they fight. So, booze always first, right? Jericho staples a thank you sign to MJF's face. MJF tries to smash Jericho's arm with a claw hammer, but no. He binks old MJF with the Floyd the Bat. Inner Circle, they got a motorcycle club somewhere. I don't know where. They try to run down Spears. Who are these people? I have no freaking idea. But MJF and Jericho, they brawl into the crowd. Spears thought he got away from everybody, but here comes Sammy Guevara on a golf cart. I don't know what it is about the golf carts. Like, I know they did this in the past. This is referenced multiple times in their shows, but it's just like, I'm so tired of seeing golf carts in AEW. It's just ridiculous. Like, what is going on here? Sammy Guevara is in the ring with Shawn Spears. So this is what I don't understand about why AEW did this match again. The first time it made sense last year when they didn't have any fans, but now you got fans, they're paying, and they're watching the main event, 90% of this main event, on a screen. That sucks. Who wants to do that? But within the ring, Sammy Guevara, he's just getting beat up with the chair or whatever. He delivers a stomp to Spears there on the chair, and he gets a 330 senton and wins. Sammy Guevara winning the main event of this pay-per-view. A huge win for him. Jericho and everybody in the Inner Circle, they're limping. They come back, and pyro's exploding, middle fingers everywhere, and the Inner Circle has won. The big blow-off has happened. They have done it. Hooray, hooray. Everyone's happy. Everyone's excited. But I would not have done that. I would have not have had the majority of that fight happen backstage. I just think that sucks for the fans in attendance. But the fans were excited. They were chanting. They were singing along to the Jericho song. They had a good old time. They got to see the win. But it's interesting to see what's going to happen with Sammy Guevara. They put him in a prime spot, putting him over in the main event. I mean, the man won the main event of Double or Nothing 2021. That is a big deal. So what are they going to do with him from here? Where is he going to go? He's very popular, but you got a lot of other people who are up in popularity as well here in AEW. So it'll be interesting to see. But that's my review here of Double or Nothing 2021. Make sure you check out my Twitter. It's at MXWChronics. Got a Twitch, it's twitch.tv/donut_space. And the YouTube Wrestling Federation. You can check that out at youtube.com/YouTube Wrestling Federation. And on Facebook at facebook.com/YouTube Wrestling Federation. Both of those places. And I will catch you guys next time.